Alright, good morning guys. Little Fleabay edition. Fairly quick today because there's not a whole lot. I've already been through here and looked at this stuff this morning. So we're going to keep this short and sweet. Had some comments here, had a comment the other day saying maybe all these Fleabay editions were helping these sellers to realize that they were trying to get too much and people were realizing they were overpriced and maybe prices were dropping. To a point that may be true. As I look through, I see some sellers that have been doing real well over the years that have had fairly decent pricing or fair pricing anyway, and it seems like they're just their prices have gone, kind of out of sight on some stuff, and I'm seeing some other stuff that's not too badly priced. So anyway, first off, if we start with Atlas shapers, right off the bat, there's a Atlas multi-purpose metal shaper lathe tool holder, pre-owned, no bids yet, 160 bucks and 9.95 shipping. So this is a seller that's been around, although I don't recognize them as selling Atlas parts a whole lot. But anyway, the description says, in good working order, ask any questions, happy to combine shipping. Well, if we look at the big pictures only, why, this is the standard tool holder that should go with the Atlas, branded Atlas and everything. It's used in normal condition you expect to see them in. And this is one of my projects that's up on my little whiteboard I've got written in. And we're going to have to get around and do this one. Now see, this has been changed a little bit from appearances. I do not believe this is a proper nut, and that's looks like a lock washer underneath there. These had just a flange nut, or maybe not even a flange nut, but they just had a heavy nut, no lock washer. So that's been changed. Not a big deal, but not that pristine. Yeah, see, that's a lock washer on there. These never had a lock washer. Not the pristine piece that you would expect to see. So there's the pictures. Is it worth 160 bucks? No way in hell. 75 bucks is the most I would give for that. And a little bit of, you can weld you up a piece of these without too much trouble. Have a little bit of machining time and weld up the main body, and you can build one for probably 25 bucks. For the amount of use they have, you don't realistically need any super special material beyond just a cold roll. Will hold up fine for the limited use that you're going to run them on your shapers. I mean, these, no matter what we think, are not a high production part. So anyway, worth a little less than half probably at the most. Beyond that, there's under shapers. There's really nothing else that's new. There's some internal shaper parts. The shaper rods and the bushings and stuff like that we've kind of talked about before. Not too far out of price range. They're fair. If you're interested, go and look at them, type of thing. But tool holders are not worth what they think they're worth. And that's it for shapers. If we go to milling machines, not a whole lot new here. Let's skip to the second one down, which is a Atlas horizontal milling machine, M1-108 motor base assembly with S7-74 bracket, pre-owned. This is a bracket and the motor mount that mounts on the back of the shaper. They want 150 bucks, 149.99, or best offer. Let's see who the seller is on this. This is the seller I've seen here recently. These are not worth that here. Just last week or the week before, we looked at this bracket here that was being sold individually, and they wanted like 30 bucks for it, I think 30-40 bucks, something that I remember commenting wasn't out of line. The motor base itself, this one's in good shape and everything. This whole assembly should go for half, 75 bucks, all it's worth. We could look at the rest of them. A lot of times you'll see them be repaired through here because people have tensioned them too hard and they busted that bracket. So a lot of times you'll see those have been repaired. This one's in good condition. All original, needs to be cleaned up and repainted. But it's not a bad assembly, but it's not worth 150 bucks. It's worth half. Half. We're going to continue on our half little That's the way it is. There's some desk covers and stuff like that here that aren't, prices that aren't too bad. And then we get down into the milling attachments for the lathe and stuff that they want $300+ for. They're worth 150 bucks. The very first one on here, I just kind of caught my interest a little bit. Um, excuse me. Door clip for the Atlas MFC milling machine, part number M1-53. This is a replacement part, and they're wanting 15 bucks Canadian, about 11.09, and then shipping's 5 bucks Canadian, approximately 370 US. And this is a fairly new seller, it looks like, who's building parts, which I think we all should be building our own parts. I mean, I build replacement parts and sell them and everything. Price is not exceptionally bad on this. The problems I have with it, or the good things about it, are the only picture we've got here is the Atlas print. So you don't even have to hunt down the Atlas print for this one. It gives all your dimensions, tells you what the materials are. This is 21 gauge spring steel. Not a big deal at all. This can be very easily made in your shop. Nice little project for in the shop. The problem I have with this, and I applaud the seller. I think he's probably doing a good thing, making his way in the world and selling stuff probably for a reasonable price. This is not out of line, I don't think, for a new replacement. The problem I have is we do not have a picture of the actual part that he's selling you. I would no way send my money off for something that you don't know what you're getting. And a lot of times the pictures that I post look better than the parts that we produce some of the time. So you can look at the pictures and have a good indication of what you're getting. When we just show the picture of the print and what it looks like without showing the actual part, no, don't spend your money. Don't spend your money, guys. So anyway, that's all I see under mills. And if we look under lathes, a few little things here. First listing, 4-inch 618 Atlas Craftsman lathe, 4-jaw 4-inch independent chuck, 1-inch 8 TPI, T35 is probably his number. Pre-owned, $250, buy it now, $10.60 shipping. No way in hell. This 1 and 8, this came off of a Dunlop, is what this came off of. I believe. Now I could be mistaken here. 4-inch 618 Atlas Craftsman 4-jaw, 1 and 8. Well, maybe the 1 and 8 was proper for the 618. 4-inch 4-jaw chuck. We've looked at these before. Are they worth 250 bucks? No, they're not worth 250 bucks. Let's look at the big pictures real quick. For this little bitty chuck, this is a $75, maybe $100 chuck. Is all they're worth. I would not give more than. Yeah, I guess this is pretty grungy. Of course you can put whatever back plate you want on it, but it's not worth 250 bucks. There's no way. No way, no way, no way. 75 or 100 bucks. Don't give any more than that for these. And that's from a seller that will continue to try and screw you. That's what they've been doing. So, 10-inch lathe cross-slide ball crank handle, new open box. Seller's been around for a little bit. They want 60 bucks, $59.97, and $6.25 economy shipping. Satin chrome, not plastic, from Corn, 3/8 bore, 1/8 keyway. Always happy to combine shipping. And that, not plastic from Corn, that's a reference to 3D printed stuff out of PLA plastic, which I'm not a fan of those either, we know that. So, crank ball handle, it's a good looking handle. Is it a factory Atlas handle? Maybe it is. Back to that same old thing, is it worth 60 bucks? I don't know. If I'm doing a replacement one of these, which I haven't done the balance cross ball handles like this for the Atlases, if I'm doing one of these replacements out of stainless steel, it's going to be in that $60 range. Are you going to pay that for a Zamac one that's been maybe beat up a little bit? This one probably is new open box. It's probably never been on from looking at it, but it's got some dings in it. It's not going to be perfect. I don't know. I really don't think they're worth that 60 bucks, but new listing, and I'm not going to go in and look at these. Atlas metal lathe spindle bearings, pre-owned, $49.99 or best offer. No. you know, in this day and age, they're probably going to be usable. What we have found is the spindle bearings themselves for the Atlases, no matter where you source them from, are tremendously expensive. When you go to a set of Timken bearings, they are expensive. So is this a less expensive option? Sure it is, but you're getting a used set of bearings that you don't really know the condition of, even though you can look at the pictures, and there's no races with them. So why would you spend your money on used junk? It's probably no better than what you've got. Those are, you know, no, 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 no. New listing, excellent. Excellent Atlas Craftsman 10-12 inch lathe lantern tool post, pre-owned, 75 bucks and $9.40 shipping. So buy it now. And the description says shiny. They're shiny for you. This is one that's been cleaned up. You know, they're a used set of lantern tool posts. I think everybody should have a set of lantern tool posts with their lathe, no matter what lathe it is, no matter what size. They give you some versatility for stuff that you may not be set up for one-off things or turnings. It works great. Are they worth 75 bucks? You know, there again, if I'm doing well, let's look at the big pictures. If I'm doing this tool post assembly without the holder, you're probably in that $60 to $75 range. And you know, I've got the plans for these, to produce these, and I've contemplated doing it. Would I recommend buying them like that? No. The tool holder itself is worth 15 bucks. That's all a tool holder's worth. And you know, to give that much, to give 60 or 75 bucks for just a tool post brand new, why? That's too much money for what you can do. Invest your money in a quick change tool post if you can get a quick change tool post set up so your centers are basically back up over your compound. You know, you don't want them hanging way out there. But if you adapt the tool post to where it sits back on your compound to where because you've got a worn lathe. And that, for the new guys starting out, is going to be a better option anyway. It allows you to hold your tooling a little more rigidly. It takes away some of the variation and makes it a little bit easier to repeatedly set up your tools, where these take a little bit of fiddling to get them right. And if you're having trouble getting a good finish on your pieces that you're cutting anyway when you're starting out with a lathe, these can make them even more difficult. Like I say, I think everybody should have one of these tool posts in their with their lathe, but shop around for them. Like I say, you can pick them up a whole lot cheaper. You know, I would say if you can get this whole setup here for about 25 bucks, it's worth adding. But you still only got one tool holder. It looks like it's a left-hand tool holder, I believe. And that's not really the main tool holder you want anyway. You want the right-handed. So don't waste your money on these Fleabay auctions. You know, there's a lot of stuff we'll see on these Fleabay auctions that are just, if you're actually looking for the price of the tooling themselves, they're probably worth it. But from the utility you're going to get out of them, no, don't waste your money. Now here's a original Armstrong 1040 knurling tool for Atlas Craftsman lathe for a 6-inch 618. There again, this is another useful accessory for your lantern style tool post. These can probably be adapted to a quick change tool post. And this is from a seller that I've bought from in the past and has been relatively good on price. You know, he's been fair on it. They want $68.95 for this and $8.50 shipping. I guess we could look at it real quick. No, I think a knurling tool like this, if you're buying it, 25 bucks, maybe 30. You know, beyond that, go to a dedicated tool holder, build your own knurling tool for this to fit in a quick change tool post, and you'll be happier with the result. You'll get better results, and you're better off with a clamp style tooling post in it, or knurling tool anyway. So yeah, this is not, you know, if you can add these into your toolbox for 25 bucks, yep. Otherwise, pass on them. Wasting your time and your money. Atlas, excellent Atlas Craftsman 6-inch 618 101 lathe steady rest attachment, M6-326, $229.95. Buy it now on $11.75 shipping. No, $100. $100, and this is there again is from the same seller. This there again is from that same seller that I bought from in the past. You know, and this has either not been used, although I believe it probably has been used, and they put replacement jaws in it. No, 75 bucks, 100 bucks maybe. You know, other than that, don't. It's not even close to being worth $225, $229. Nope, 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 nope. New listing: Atlas Craftsman 10 12-inch lathe handles. Atlas Craftsman 10-inch 12-inch lathe half split nut assembly, number 9-13 pre-owned, $18.99 with 0 bids or best offer, and $685 shipping. Needs cleaning, it says. No, this is a wore out piece of crap. Look at the crap that we're looking at in here. Those half nuts are worn out. They're gonna be so worn that it's not even worth. You know, the only thing you're getting here that probably is good is going to be this housing. Is the price out of line for $18.99? No, it's probably worth 20 bucks if you've got a busted housing and stuff. But would I buy them with the idea that I'm going to use those half nuts? No. Those are junk. Junk. Seller's got a lot of feedback. Don't recognize a whole lot from the name, from the username. Okay, this is the set of, or this is a chuck that I'd originally looked at that I said was not for an Atlas. And that first listing with that 4-jaw chuck was a new listing that I hadn't seen when I was through this a few minutes before. Here is a 4-jaw lathe chuck with key from a Craftsman lathe 109-0702, 28 inches, Dunlop Atlas. See there again, they put that Atlas in there. This is not an Atlas part. This is off of a Dunlop lathe. Used takeoff of a parts lathe. Came as pictured. The 4 jaws move well, and there seems to be little use on the chuck. Very little use. It was only driven by your grandmother to church on Sundays. Big pictures only. Standard little chuck. These are common. I've got one of these. Replacement handle. Somebody's come up with a little T handle for it, which is fine. What did they want for this? $89.95. Buy it now. It's probably almost worth that, but not really. You know, 50 bucks is what it's worth. A little bitty chuck. Came off of a Dunlop lathe. This is not an Atlas. And this one's even badged Dunlop. You know, Craftsman sold the Dunlop lathes, which were, in my opinion, and I think most people's opinion, were inferior to the Atlas 618. This is a very small light-duty lathe. Spindles were known to bend on these, things like that. So, and the chucks are okay. You can change the back plate out to fit on a little 618 or something like that. But you know, I think they're only worth about 50 bucks. I'm not gonna say that they're worth any more than that. Now here's one from a. Yeah, there's a few more we'll look at very quickly here. Here's a Atlas Craftsman 10 12-inch lathe tailstock ram lock handle knob. Now I sell a replacement of these for stainless steel, and mine I think are pushing $50 there in that upper range. This one's pre-owned, $24.99. Buy it now, and $5.60 shipping. So it's functional, yeah. What's it say now? This is from a seller that I kind of have a problem with. Sells a lot of stuff. The handle looks rough, but it's mostly the coating peeling. With a file and sandpaper, you can make this look like new. Well, it's a Zamac part. The plating's pitted on it, you know, on all of it, but especially on the handle. If you polish it up, you're down to the Zamac. It's going to look like crap. You're going to be undersized by the time you get rid of all those pits. Is it worth 25 bucks? Yeah, it probably is, but not if you're buying it to use it with that handle. You know, it's a piece of crap. 10 bucks. It's worth 10 bucks. Look at how that's, and they tried to clean it up a little bit. Whether it's been bead blasted, whether it's probably been wire brushed would be my guess, to get rid of part of the crap that was on it and the peeling on it, because that looks, you know, that's pretty ugly. It's worth 10 bucks. 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks. Less than half. Okay? Here's somebody else who's got a 10-12 inch metal lathe lantern tool post holder machinist. This is just the tool post with a wrench. They want 75 bucks and $8.25 shipping. Value wise, it's probably worth 75 bucks. Utility wise, how much you're actually going to utilize it as opposed to taking that 75 bucks and putting it towards a $125 quick change tool post to fit the 10 or a 12 inch. You're much better off investing your money in a quick change tool post. I'm not even going to look at it there. A few other ones down here. Atlas 9-115 tailstock carriage wrench for Atlas Craftsman 10-12 inch lathe pre-owned. $19.98 with 0 bids. $25.98 buy it now and $5.40 shipping. These wrenches are worth 10 bucks. 10 bucks and shipping. There's two other ones here, and that's all we're going to look at. Then we'll go on our merry way for the day. There's a bunch of other parts on down that are, you know, some of them are fairly priced, some of them aren't. Atlas Craftsman number 9-16 10-inch lathe lead screw bearing bracket pre-owned, $18.99. It's got one bid and $5.60 shipping. Needs cleaning, and this is from the same seller that was we looked at a little bit earlier that I thought was maybe it was that first quick change tool post, I don't remember, that I felt he wanted way too much for. Needs cleaning. Maybe this was a half nuts, I don't know. Anyway, $18.99, and it's got one bid on it. This is the tailstock bearing bracket that supports the lead screw on the tailstock, and this is either for the early 9-inch. They may have used this one on the early 10-inch too, but this to me is a very early tailstock bearing bracket. If you're doing something back to original replacement, you know, it's probably worth 20 bucks. Functionality wise, is it as strong as the later models and as, you know, well done? I don't believe it is. You know, value wise, 20 bucks is probably not out of line, but it's not worth any more than that, you know. So there we go. That takes care of that. And this last one. Now here's a good buy if you're looking for some parts, probably. And local pickup only. Used. Looks like a junk reseller. Doesn't have. It's got a fair amount of feedback. Not really well known to me in the machine tool parts thing, but ways are worn near headstock. Lathe does not bore straight near headstock. Has only one lead screw speed. No change gears are included. 6-inch chuck included, but with internal jaws only. So, oh, there is one more lathe I want to look at after this. So this is a piece of crap. Piece of crap. You can't really see anything from that picture. 12-inch lathe. It's got decent parts on it. Now see, this has had the tailstock bearing bracket's been rebuilt with just an aluminum block. The original is, you know, blue at some point in time. You got a hand wheel there. You got an oil dauber there. You got a tailstock lock handle and the associated parts that go with the tailstock. But I mean, the common things that the guys are looking for are the daubers, the tailstock lock, and the hand wheels. You got a quick change chuck or a quick change tool post, which I am an advocate of in one sort or another. This is very probably an import from looking at it. It is also, you can see in a later picture, it's the piston style rather than the wedge style, which is not as desirable. Yet it's a quick change tool post. We'll accept the I think the 100 series is what these are. You got some good handles on it, and there's probably some other good parts on there. So this is, you know, for the money that they want for it. But the change gears are gone. They've been sold out separately probably. It is a 12-inch, which you don't, you know, I mean, here or there. A little bit later than all of this. Maybe the only one they used on these 12 inchers, because these feet look like the later model feet. There's some guards and stuff there. And it cuts crooked near the headstock. Well, that indicates to me the headstock's not aligned, so it's probably a parts machine. This headstock has probably been slammed on there at some point in time, or something's gone goofy to where it's been put on a different bed. Who knows what the deal is, but you know, it's parts is all you're buying here. Yeah, so it's kind of what it is. It's what it is, but you don't have anything that's really great worth having for 250 bucks. If you could pick this up with the idea that you just did need parts or something for 300 bucks or less, you'd probably have that much in worth of parts. And if you could pick it up if it was local and stuff, but there again, it's something you want to find at a yard sale or Facebook Marketplace or something, like that. As far as having to drive to pick it up and spending it's a bunch of pieces. Down here there was one more lathe that I looked at. Um, 6-inch lathe follow rest, M6-396, 174.99. No, those were 75 bucks. That's all they're worth. Okay. Here's a lathe. Pre-owned Atlas 10F series bench lathe. The lathe has been cleaned, repaired, and is in good working condition. Free local pickup. Features include countershaft, new belts, 5-inch 3-jaw chuck, 8-inch 4-jaw chuck, steady rest, tool post and holder, work light, tailstock, 110 volt single phase, lots of miscellaneous tooling for local pickup only. Now, this is from a seller that I haven't seen a whole lot from, and it's being sold from what is apparently a machine tool rebuilder. And let's look at the pictures here. This is a fairly well-tooled lathe, and I'm only going to look at the big pictures, which don't show us a whole lot, but they give us an indication of what's going on. It's a quick change lathe, got a fair amount of tooling with it. Looks like it's bolted to a big steel stand. Whether that's actually a part of the auction, I would assume so, but there's the first picture. And lots of things flag right off the bat, and you can go back and look at this and see things, if you're interested to look at them closer. Right off the bat, I'm seeing quite a bit of markings here on this end of the lathe. Lead screw bearing's been changed. That's somebody's hand-built replacement there. That's what we see from this end. Just some light's been added to it. Whether that's I don't even know if that's a factory light. Looks like there's maybe some collet accessories. So maybe there's a drawbar with this. Although I don't know. Yeah, it looks like there's a drawbar through it. Quick change box. The thing that stands out to me right off the bat is the bed, the quick change box. These guards do not match the bed itself or the headstock type of thing. Awful large conduit running back here, which almost leads me to believe that this may have been a 3-phase machine. Because a lot of times you'll tend to see the switches mounted up top, but they've got a little bit smaller conduit running through. Now maybe it was just somebody had something when they wired it up that's what they put on, but when you see these great big conduits, that normally to me indicates a industrial application, which is probably originally a 3-phase machine. Now with the bed and the headstock and everything being the different color, I believe this is a parts machine. It is nothing more than a parts machine. Now how well it's done or not, I don't know. I still see a lot of marking right here on this edge of the bed. This bed did not go with the feed or the quick change box, and this is the quick change guard. So this was probably originally a change gear machine that somebody's converted, or it was a quick change machine that the bed and headstock were so trashed out on it that they found something else to put on. I don't, to me this is a parts machine is all this is. That's probably a vintage work light, but I don't know that that's an Atlas light. Do have collets down underneath there. That looks like probably a KDK quick change tool post, which is, if it's well tooled enough, that's fine. If it's not very well tooled, if you've only got 1 or 2 tool holders, they're still out there, you can find them, but usually if you find them here on Fleabay, they're expensive as hell, and you're better off to swap that out. So that's kind of probably junk. What else do we got here? Who knows about the chucks? I don't put a whole lot of faith in the chuck. The Atlas motor actually looks pretty good, so it's probably, it's off of a different machine too. It doesn't really look like it matches the rest of the vintage. This pulley's been changed out. That's not a standard pulley that we would normally see for the counter shaft there. This is a parts machine, is all this is, and if it was truly a good rebuild and had been done properly, it would have probably been repainted, would have all matched. This is crap here. This looks like shit. You still got staining here on the handles. This might have been run through a solvent tank, at least parts of it, but that's all that was done to it. So no, this is not, this is a $800 to $1,000 machine is what this is. Beyond that, nope, 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 screw you very much. So anyway, you go on down, there's some stuff, there's a guard, the guard and the bracket says for a 12-inch lathe, which it probably is, $27 and no bids. Of course, they want $32.95 shipping for it. The price for the guard itself, if it's depending on what it gets bid up to, that's about what they should go for, $30-35. Shipping's a little high there. That can be shipped, I believe, for probably a large flat rate box. So you're $20, $25, Beyond that, that's all the time I'm going to take today. There's a bunch of guards, or a bunch of change gears on down here that they want too much money for. Change gears are worth $15 and $5 shipping in the door. $20, on something that's kind of hard to find. $23-25 in your door. Beyond that, they're not worth that. So anyway, hopefully you find that a little bit useful. Comments, suggestions, leave them in the comments section for me below. Oh, and as a side note, I was going through my iPad the other day, and I discovered a whole bunch of inquiries and notifications in things like Messenger for questions I had about things that I provide, or services that I either do or have done in the past, or just inquiries about something. I apologize if you contacted me through Messenger or through Facebook or something like that. I very rarely look at them. I will occasionally upload a short to Instagram. I will occasionally look at Facebook. As far as using Messenger and some of these other things, I really don't. So if you've tried to contact me through those platforms, the reason I haven't answered is I just don't go there that often. So you got questions or something, either leave them in the comments section for me below or email me directly. I've my email's out there for pretty much everybody to find, which is why I get so much spam going through there. But either contact me through the comments section or shoot me an email, contact me through the website, through the contact form there. I check all of those, and I try and respond to all of those. But if you're, like I say, trying to contact me on other platforms, chances are you may not get a response from me. So I apologize, but I only will waste so much time doing different things, and going through Messenger and Facebook and Instagram have gotten to be things that I do not do. My time is better spent other places. So anyway, hopefully you find that useful. Comments, suggestions, leave them in the comments section for me below, guys. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.